Oh, finally back out in the garage. I've actually been doing some cleaning. I don't know if we can see out the window. I got distracted. No, it was too dirty. I'll look out the window. Look out here. Last couple of days I've been distracted by something here. Aha. Been putting that up. Since we're not really going anywhere this summer, so now we got a pool to play in. That kind of preoccupied me in days I kind of had pegged for cleaning up in the garage, but I've been off. A couple of weeks off. The first little bit was absolutely horrendous. But yeah, I still got lots of cleaning to do, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But tonight I'm gonna work on this Pontiac. And just get started on it. Come back out in the morning and figure out why it won't start with the key. Everything else works. I got headlights, signal lights, all that good stuff. It's charging, alternator's charging. Being a dink. Anyway, I don't know. Last fall I ended up changing the starter in a drugstore parking lot and they couldn't get it started again, so I don't know, maybe I put one of the wires in the wrong spot on the solenoid. I'm gonna have a look and see. So maybe I'll set us up on the tripod and we'll all have a look. What happened last fall? Came out of the drugstore, went to fire it up. It cranked like just barely. This thing fires up right away normally. Just cranked and then nothing. Went to have a look. Checked the battery connections and looked down and noticed the end of the solenoid had blown off. So it nicked itself. I wonder if when that happened, if it screwed the ignition switch. Everything else otherwise is okay. But I wonder. Don't do that again. Here's the weirdness. Ugh. Jeepers. Trying to do 10 things at once, hanging on with a screwdriver, explaining what's going on. Basically everything from the fuse box in, although I have 12 volts going to the fuse box. I've got 12 volts at the switch. Nothing's coming out. Now, the ring terminals are on the ignition switch. It's got some aftermarket hokey ignition switch. And it's got ring terminals crimped on the ends of the wires. The little bit of plastic that's on the ends of them, where you crimp, it's all melted. So I suspect that some wiring under the dash melted. It's just a disaster under there. Can't even tell which wire's which. So look at this wire from the alternator. There was wire loom on this. I took that off just last fall. I think that's a wire for an electric choke. This now has a runs purely off of the manifold temp. It's got that little spring in there that kicks the choke closed or open. But this red wire goes to a white wire and then gets spliced. There's a splice there on a gray wire. There's this black, goes to here. That's also to the alternator. It's a freaking mess. So I was at a local tool supply place, KMS Tools. They've got this little wall of hot rod parts and stuff. They had wiring kits, and they had specials on them. I got the one, it's a haywire, It's got circuits for AC, everything. It's a huge kit. Same one that was in my 52 Chev, so it's a nice kit. And if I recall, it was upwards of $500 for that kit. So got it for just over $3. And then for 2 bills, I got their T-rod kit. So that'll be for the T bucket. But anyway, so that's the plan. But I do get it to start here. I ran this at a chunk of speaker wire. This is what I did last fall to get it running, get it home. So I've got no lights or anything now. So all I do is jump this to this and then hit it with a screwdriver. I'll just take this off. So I'm gonna do this with one hand. Ow! You jibbit jabbed me. Oh. And it's a shame because this thing runs so damn good. It's crazy. It never, ever fails. I had electrical problems before, and the thing had a draw on it, and it would drain the battery down. I thought it was the hokey 1990s Sony Explode. I should get one of those remote starter jumper things you put on with the jumper cables. You put on the plant on it. It's hard to see. Right around so I can see what I'm doing. Show you how easy this thing starts. What I do. Look down on the starter there. Let's see. Big terminal where that blue battery cable, that red wire goes to. Hard to see. Go from that to there's a terminal just on the other side of it. That's what you short out with your starter stick. And here, like I showed in the previous, jam this in here. That's sending juice to the coil. Lights off right away. That easy, just like that. Yeah. There's no lights or anything. Switch is on. And I think that power goes through the ignition switch on the dash anyway. Right now that's apart. It's all taken apart. So kicks on high idle. This thing just runs perfect. And to shut it off, you just pull that. It's a little sketchy if you're driving, you can't shut it off. But that's why I limped it home. But yeah, I got into this and just the wiring everywhere. Like I said, I'm not blaming anybody. It's just there's been one repairer after another, after another, after another when it comes to the wiring of this. And frankly, I just don't want to risk it. I was under the dash here the other night. I ended up with sparks and some mystery smoke, and then I was paranoid. I sat in here for about an hour waiting. Well, I disconnected the battery and everything, but I wanted to make sure she wasn't smoldering to nothing. Because years ago, many years ago, I was like 19 or 20. I think it was 19. Maybe 20. This dude had this 51 Merc for sale. Pretty cool little car. Actually, drivetrain setup was same as this. You know, late 60s, early 70s, 350 small block with a 3-speed stick in it, manual. You know, just a nice little cruiser. And well, he owed someone else money. I was gonna buy that car. It was really cool. It was slammed. It wasn't chopped. 2-door, 51 Merc. Thing was badass. It was black with flames. People that know will know the car. Me and my dad went to look at it. My dad was gonna loan me the money. I had about half the money. It was like, the thing was like $3,000, which, you know, talking late 80s, it was a lot of money. Late 80s, early 90s, like 90, 91. And well, it was well, the other fellow that he owed money to decided he wanted the car instead of money, so which, fair enough. I mean, I guess he had first dibs. He took the car. He had to repaint the car because it was such a heat score. This will tip off a few other people will know the car. And the car later caught on fire. And they blamed some old wiring, I believe, was the cause. And probably a good thing I didn't get it. I had a bad habit back then of running around without any insurance. It was 1920. I paid just long enough to get the insurance slip to get the plates. And that would be the end of her as long as I had that slip. Days before computers. I also knew a guy you could buy insurance slips from. He used to break into insurance offices and steal the slips. And then they'd just type it up. You just tell them what you needed and they'd type it up. Can't do that now in the days of computers and chasing this stuff down. Not that I would now anyway, it's kind of dumb. And then I gotta get this done. I gotta clean up here. I know I keep saying clean up, clean up, clean up. But yeah, everything's a disaster. I gotta clean up, make room here, because that block there is gonna go to the machine shop tomorrow. And well, the path is not traversable. So do that. Well, I'll move this thing over so that it's easier for me to do the wiring. I can make my way over here. There's too many projects. I'm a dumbass. Oh, of course, this is backwards. Bag out for garbage. I've been doing some cleaning. Between putting in swimming pools and all kinds of other shit. There's the wiring harness there. And it's the model. It's got the floor mounted dimmer switch and in-dash ignition switch. That's the things you need to determine when you're doing a wiring kit, what you want. Do you want the controls for this stuff up on the column? Or do you want it, you know, the dimmer button on the floor and the in-dash? As soon as I saw that, this thing was, yeah. Here's a regular price. I basically got $100 off that. And that one, this one here, I got $40 off that one. So, random stuff. So yeah, fun times ahead. It's gonna be a bit of a project, but I'll feel better. Just after seeing that mess under the dash, I just can't, in good conscience, just leave it. Another thing too, all the terminals on the fuse box are pretty, fuse block there under the dash here. There's only about, like, there's like 6 or 8 fuses in the whole car. There's just a little fuse block under the dash, and it's sketchy as could be. It's just really corroded and stuff, and you can't, there's no labels, you can't see what's on there. Actually, let's do the box opening of this E-Series. I'm not gonna open the other one because I'm nowhere near ready for it. Learn that and pass the hard way. Open shit and then lose parts out of it when you don't need it for a couple months. Yeah, I know the T's been taking a backseat, but I want to get that thing rolling because it's my summer ride. I love it. That's my daily all summer. I think it's so good to drive. I was gonna build the crazy motor for that thing and make it. I just don't want to screw it up. I mean, check this shit out, man. Look at it. Look at that. Oh, look at an electric fan. Look at that. I don't want to pull it off. Yeah. What you get? This is quality, man. Just first 3 seconds into this. Manual, welcome to the Haywire. These guys are out of Ohio. It's kind of cool. Love it. Look at that. Look at that. A proper diagram. In English too. Cigar lighter, hazards. Turn signal flasher. So I've got one of those aftermarket Dominion signal switches. I'm gonna have to installation of your Rewire E-Series wiring harness will take place in 2 major steps. So if it's only 2 steps, that'd be freaking awesome. Fuse panel installation and harness routing. 2. Termination, putting terminals on wires and connections. This universal Haywire harness is set up to meet as many possible vehicle construction variables, i.e. engine, chassis, columns, and options, etc. We offer these instructions as a guideline only, and the final routing is your decision. In other words, you fuck it up, cut the wires too short, you're tough shit, dummy. Good thing I don't write these manuals. For your convenience, your E-Series wiring harness is GM color coded, with each wire labeled as to its purpose. Now, yeah, check this out. This is what I love. Man, okay. I like traditional cars and everything, and I love that stuff. But man, you know what I really like? 5 years later, you're going to troubleshoot something, and you pull a wire out, and it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, look. It's also printed down here. Oh, look at that. Dimmer power. Oh, what's this? Low beam. Would you look at that? And what's this one say? Oh, that wire must be for the high beam. No gasings. This one. Nice wire, all labeled up. Alternator output. I mean, it's just a bare roll of wire, probably 5-6 feet, but how can you not like that? Yes, ignition, battery. This is down to a starter. This is a starter harness. Ignition, battery, neutral safety. Oops, I didn't mean that. No, I need a neutral safety. Fusible link. These terminals get wired. HEI and neutral safety connections, butts, rings, and spade terminals, fusible link, alternator boot, heat shrink tube. I thought maybe it was the fusible link that shit the bed. Hit the button on my phone. No, I thought maybe it was the fusible link that shit the bed in that thing, but I couldn't find the damn thing. It's another thing. Maybe they jumped past it. Oh, the jumpers are there. We got this big old harness here. Lose that done. It's all in here. Test the bits. Fuses, signal flasher, hazard flasher, killer, everything is labeled. Look at all those circuits. Radio, battery, instruments, wiper, AC, or accessory. Choke, don't need that. Heating. Electrical fan power. 30 amp fuse. Heating. The heating is your AC as well. It's your HVAC basically. That's why it's a 30 amp. A little blower motor doesn't pull that much. That's something else I might consider. Yeah, I'm getting old. It'd be nice to add AC to that little tub. That should really be a road trip beast. Yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna sit down and Google the manual. Almost dropped it. Knocked her over. But yeah, that's what you get. Big old spool of wire. I think these are harnessed together. My 52, this is the one that it had. And all the extras were just spooled up under the dash, which is fine, right? They didn't cut anything off, which was nice. Which is probably what I'll do. This isn't the kit. They also have a bigger kit that I think is part of this E-Series. It has provisions for power windows and everything. This has power seat. Oh yeah, this one has power windows. So turn signal, brake lights, horn, accessories, courtesy light, dome light, park tail. It's all, oh, what a quality piece, man. It's just, yeah, it looks like I didn't have this style of fuses. I had Nova or Chevy, very similar. They got the fuses though, the glass ones, glass type. You'd have your hazard hazards and signals down at the bottom here, and one flasher, but very similar. It's a GM style. I mean, these are cool. I like it. Like it. Not that I'm gonna look forward to putting this shit in the car, but ugh. So film it if you like. Figure out how to use my GoPro and put it on time lapse, maybe. Oh well. This is life and such are things. Like this Sunday I'm supposed to drive back up to work, and it'd be nice to be driving this, but that ain't gonna happen, I don't think. We'll see. I think it's gonna take a bit to rip the old wiring out of that sucker. I mean, that's gonna be a worse job than putting this new thing in. It's just, I'm not gonna try and save anything. I'm just gonna rip it all out. God. Because this has everything in it, and I don't want to be splicing anything. I don't want to confuse anything. It's getting fresh from day one. These instructions look pretty good. Ring harness up windshield cleaners. Ring harness along floor. See, smart. Battery power starter small. They got everything here. Even the instruments. Awesome. It is broken down, like, just really simple. This book's fantastic. Headlight harness, front vehicle harness, front vehicle continued. You got an electric fan. That's cool. Engine harness. And it's got a separate section on the alternator. Fusible links. Red main power. Solenoid. So for different alternator setups, GMSI alternator, which is what I believe I have. not an external regulator. Oh, wait. This is all cool. Fusible links, these, I don't think it's the fusible links off the starter. Because, oh, I get power going back there. Forward charging systems. Ah! Okay. Ooh, Durasburg. Low power alternator. There's a harness layout. Front harness, engine harness, starter, rear harness. And your whole, all your. It's your wiring layout. This I understand. I'm an electrician, so the DC stuff always throws me for a loop. Man, that's a nice box baby. Amazing. Happy I bought that. So far, for now. Anyway, that's enough of this crap. So that's the nonsense I've been up to, as well as putting in the pool and trying to find my kid a new bike. Everywhere sold out. Found our good BMX. So oh, anyway, I pushed. I could get up early and start on this. Have a good night.